Hello everyone, welcome to Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of West Chester, Pennsylvania. In the area, Pennsylvania, Delaware, wherever. Give us a line. We have several players throughout the area that are more than happy to get a game with you. And if you want to touch base, I'm Sir MC 2015 up on the boards. And today we're going back to our roots, because I remember when we first started this, we started doing two of us doing this, and I really like those style battle reports. So today's going to be my opponent, and it was Ogre Cons versus Dwarven Holds. My computer was fighting me, so Dwarven Holds. So I played Ryan, who is Pretty Boy, up on the boards.
Hey everyone.
And we got a 4,500 point game in. We're trying to look at going down. What's the name of the tournament?
Mountain Mayhem.
Mountain Mayhem out in Virginia. It should be a lot of fun. So definitely, if you want some more information, I'm going to try to turn around and drop that information regarding the where to go at the bottom of this for descriptions.
Yeah, and if you go onto the forums and just search Mountain Mayhem, it should come right up. And all the info is there too.
And let's see. So again, as I said, we had the Dwarven Holds versus Ogre. So we're trying to turn around and get ready for the, as we just said, Mountain Mayhem, and we're going pretty much straight out of the rule book right now, because that's what we expect. We don't know if when 2.0 will be out in time or anything like that. I mean, we're still.
And I don't think. I think for this one we're not using 2.0, even if it came out
even
before.
if it comes out, we're not using it. We're sticking with 1.3 just for this, and we're gonna try something a little different. We're gonna actually, so you're not just listening to our voices, which I know mine will sounds like nails on a chalkboard. We're gonna play some music in the background, and if you can place the music, go get yourself a cookie. So anyway, so here's deployment. Now, when I was turning around and I was if I remember right, we started both deploying. It's
refuse flank.
It's refuse flank, but what was the objective? It was hold the center.
Hold the center.
It was hold the center on this one.
And by the way, just so everybody knows, I brought ogres only because my vampires were not magnetized at this point. I'm actually not bringing ogres to Mountain Mayhem. I just wanted to have some fun and bring the list. And then later, for another battle report, I actually play with the army I've been practicing with on BYOB.
You're actually going to start seeing us start fielding some more unpainted armies and such, because we are going back to our roots.
You say that like we've been fielding painted armies the whole time.
I have not fielded anything but dwarves on this for how long?
I know. I'm just
that's where I'm like, we're going back to our roots, where it's not so much painted models. That much I don't care about, but we're going back to changing up our armies a little bit more frequently to give each other more practice against other armies. Because both Ryan and I are very good tacticians. We both have a good feel for the game. And I mean, we
play each other a lot, so you don't want to have the same armies every time either.
No, because he knows my tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when he forgets a trick, I'm like, you knew this was coming. Why did you forget this? So here's deployment. So we started doing 1-on-1-on-1, and then I think you had about 4 or 5 drops left, and I just dropped what I had left, because he's an ogre player that had how many drops?
A lot. It was a lot of drops.
It was at least 11.
Yeah, and I think it ended up being like 13 or 14, and we'll go over the lists. But yeah, Mark, after a while, going 1 versus 1, it just made sense for him to drop and take first turn.
Well, whether first turn or second turn. So with hold the center, one of the tactics that both Ryan and I discussed was turning around and taking second turn versus the first turn. So it all depends on the way your opponent, to me, in my opinion, a way your opponent's going to deploy and what you're able to do. So with that said, I had a good feel at that point where he was going, and he was already creating that bubble, okay, going around the middle, because you knew what you wanted to hide from. Organ guns.
Yep.
Okay, and those of you who do not respect or fear the organ gun, play me. But so he already had that going on. So when I turn around and I lay down the rest of my army, the reason why my deep watch are only 2 wide is he's got a Stratapult back there. If you're deep enough, he's going to roll enough 6s. He's going to just kill models. That's what it comes down to. Spears are a lot cheaper than deep watch. Actually, they may not be that much cheaper. Only about like 7 points.
Yeah. But still, the mindset makes sense.
Yeah, and I just didn't want to do that for my spears. I just was being lazy. My seekers, my vengeance seekers I have out there are of course chaff and to hold my center. My engineer that's sitting in the back is to prevent his trappers from coming up from behind, because I just didn't want to deal with those annoying little buggers. And that's it. What about you?
Yeah, so I'll go over my deployment and list really quick. So on the bottom of the screen, on the hill, I have 4 Yetis. I really like this unit. Movement 7, they have Swift Stride, and they have light troops.
And I forgot they were movement 7.
Yeah, and they have Vanguard. So I mean, they're just fast as all hell. And they're hard-hitting unit. They're Strength 5. They're really good. So I've been enjoying playing with them. So they're on the flank. And then I have 6 Merkavets with Iron Fists, of course, full command. And I gave them, not a lot of people would do this, but I like giving them Vanguard as well, because you can do different deployment tricks and, it gives you some flexibility and some speed. And then I gave them Lethal Strike. So they're over there towards the center. And then my main lines, I've got a stick of 3 Bruisers. I've got 3 Bombardiers. I have 8 Tribesmen with Iron Fists, and they have the Standard of Discipline. My general's in with them, who's Lord Shrek, and he's got the Hell Fist, he's got an Iron Fist, he's got a 5-up board save, Crown of Autocracy.
The Hell Fist is not a weapon, is it?
No, it's a big name. It's a big name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the everybody's favorite big name where you get like the table-wide BSB for absolutely no reason. And then he is rocking Thaumaturgy, 4 spells with Wizard Master. Behind them is a Stratapult, and then I got a Thunder Cannon next to them. I've got 2 more sticks of Bruisers. I've got a Rock-a-Rock, and then I have all the way at the top of the screen, like behind that hill, are my Trappers. And I put them over there just to like give the warriors over there a difficult time, and to keep them from just coming, down my flank.
All right, and that's it. So after Vanguards and everything else, here's how basically the board looks. Now going back to your Mercs, actually I don't like I think it's a waste giving them Vanguard, unless you're going to put them on a flank to get around a flank.
And that's what I normally do. Unfortunately, with your army, it's tough because double organ guns, and I didn't have any good terrain to put them in, because that's normally what I do is I put them on a flank, I Vanguard them up into some terrain to give them cover, and I forgot to mention they have the Stalker standard, so they have Swift Stride and they have Strider. The terrain or the board itself just didn't lend itself well to it, and because Mark had first turn, I only Vanguarded up a little bit just to put some pressure on his center that he couldn't just move up any unit wherever he wanted to,
So here we are, Dwarves turn 1, and so I move up the Spears, I move up the Warriors. I think my Warriors Great Weapons just pretty much stayed still, because I didn't want to turn around and allow Ryan's Ogres, even though they were 1 model wide, being the Bruisers, and then charging into my own Great Weapon guys, and you would turn around, I'd be steadfast because I have 1 rank, but it just wouldn't be going pretty for me, because you're getting 6 attacks where I would be getting 8 attacks for 1 turn. I just don't see it going well.
Yeah, it's too iffy, and I have Stomps,
yeah,
and same initiative, all that stuff.
So that's why the Great Warriors just did not move up. But in retrospect, maybe I should have. No guts, no glory. And that was it. Organ Guns failed me. I don't think I did a single one this turn.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like they had a ton of good options, but they didn't do much.
I had the Mercs.
Yeah.
I had the Mercs, turn 1. And if you saw my one Brogers, which Jesse, if you're or not Jesse, James, if you're watching this, yes, I promise you by the end of this week I will have our game up from Buckeyes. I've been a little busy. Ryan's already told me you've been asking him why is that game not up, but I promise you I will get it up. Anyway, so I was playing Jesse. Jesse Silva up at Buckeyes, and he made that one critical mistake where he moved his own unit of mercs up onto a hill because of a failed charge, and then I had both organ guns and my unit of 10 handgunners open up on him, and my rangers, and he had like 14.
I think it was like 7, right? He had 7 merc vets.
Yeah. Down to 1 with 1 wound left.
Yeah, no, it can be rough, and I think maybe 1 was in range this game.
No, your cannon was in range. That's what I tried to take out too. Your cannon was in range.
Yeah, I think 1 shot the cannon, maybe did a couple wounds, but didn't kill it or something, and the other one did like a wound or 2 to the merc vets. Nothing of substance. Turn 1.
Yeah, and so that was it. So now, Ogre's turn 2. You charged, Junior. I screwed up. I royally screwed that up. I forgot that. I thought they were moving 6.
Yep.
And not movement 7 swift stride.
So it was a 9 charge on dice instead of a 10, which Mark thought it was a 10.
And I thought 2 dice rather than 3 dice.
Yeah. So I hit the flank of Junior, and just at the edge there you could see his deep watch. It has a nicely set up that if I kill Junior with the Yetis, I can overrun and hit the flank of the deep watch. And then I make a crucial error here. This is probably my biggest mistake of the game, honestly. Go to the next picture. Is I figure, okay, let me double dip here because my merc vets have swift stride. I don't want him shooting at me all game. And it was like a 10-inch charge on the dice with swift stride. So I go for that to hit the deep watch, and then I figure my Yetis would kill Junior, hit him in the flank. Now they can't reform. It's just a lot of attacks.
Oh yeah,
coming at him. And Deep Watch are tough, but I'm going first. There's only 19 of them. If I can do like a real hurting on them, maybe I can win that grind. And I was totally dumb. I totally forgot that he had the Runic Banner of Dismay. So I rolled like an 11 on the dice. I was like, yes! And then he rolled like a 6 or something. It just
no, he's like, dreams. I got you. I'm like, no, you failed. He goes, what are you talking about? Watch. and he's like, well, what's that for? My Runic Banner of Dismay. How many times have you played this already? And that unit has not changed.
Yeah, I wanted to kick myself. I totally forgot about that.
So there was that.
And then this is just the rest of movement. So I move 1 unit of bruisers that were hanging out in the back behind the merc vets. My center battle line pretty much stays the same. I think I just maneuver 2 of the bruiser sticks up, and I get my trappers in position to just start shooting at those warriors. And then I just want to do a turn of shooting, turn of magic, see if I can get a Wrath of Gods down. And that looks about it. I don't think there was anything else major in movement. The only other thing is I moved my saber-toothed cat up in front of Mark's spears so that it could bring him like an inch or 2 closer, and then that could give me charge options.
All right. So next one here, oh, you did a miscast on some spell.
I got off. What was it?
I don't think it was Comet.
It wasn't Comet. I think it was the Trial by Faith.
Yeah.
And it didn't do anything, and it wasn't terrible though. I lose like 1 ogre.
Yeah. So now it's Dwarves' turn 2. So I turn around, I charge in with my own Great Warriors. I take 3 losses. He's freaking scraplings and got very, very lucky and killed 3 of my dwarves. Actually, I think
I killed 3 on the stand and shoot. You made like an 11-inch charge or something like
That's
that.
True. That's true. I did do a bomb charge. Over here, I'm going to go kill Porky. The reason why I'm giving it a pig name, even though I know it is a cat, is one of our friends that plays. He swelts up on the forums. First name is Brett. His are like little pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, and he tells me their name. I'm like, okay, so that one's swine, bacon, pork chop, and just kind of go down the list at that point. So no, he's not kosher. Uh, and I think that was it. Otherwise, it was just maneuvering. The other issue that last turn, one is Junior didn't do enough wounds, but he didn't do enough wounds to Junior either.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I only did 1 wound to him, I think.
Yeah.
And just got stuck there. Mm-hmm.
And I think did I charge out my king this turn? No, my king's all. So one thing I did do differently is I put my king in the spears. I put my BSB in with the deep watch. So the rationale the reason why I did this is, one, I wanted to see what happened. I wanted to see how it would work and how I liked it. Two, the BSB. Let me get rid of that one. The BSB has the Holstone, so go ahead, hit my flank of the deep watch. They still have a 5-up ward save in close combat, and that's it. Thank you and good night. Meanwhile, I've got something that's going to be strength 6, as tough as nails, up in the
help the spears out.
To help the spears out. And that was basically it. Over here. So again, this is Dwarf's turn. This is just giving you like a bird's eye view, because we're like, I really like these views dropping down behind them all. It's like going down to see exactly how they're looking at the board. And what happened during next comes shooting.
Yep.
There's a reason why I take a picture of the organ gun. So finally, an organ gun learned how to fire. You see the cannon. The cannon's not where it used to be. That cannon got blown to smithereens and then caused a panic test. That panic test then turned around and caused his scrap wagon.
Yeah, the Scratapult.
The Scratapult to turn around and fail its leadership test.
And ran off the board.
So I'm like, all right, that just frees up the board a little bit. And then the Mercs went from 6 to 3. I want everyone to know this, is that those freaking Rangers sitting there in the middle did more wounds to them than the organ guns did. I think the organ guns killed two of the ogres there.
Yeah.
Close combat, they made mincemeat of them. You said a couple left. I let it run off the board. Yeah. And I think I ended up reforming. And the other close combat. So, did I get you down to 1 Yeti? Or I thought you had 2 Yetis. I know you had 2 Yetis.
I had 2. I was switching the models.
Gotcha.
While you're taking the picture.
Got it. And meanwhile, he did kill Junior during this, but I still killed 2 of your guys.
Yeah, I'm down to 2. Not the best, but...
Yep. So now it's Ogre's turn 2. Here you go.
All right. So, at this critical juncture, I'm thinking, because my Yetis were freed by finally killing Junior, they're going to move around to the flank to try to hunt down that organ gun, his engineer, just try to make some trouble in the backfield. I swift reform the Mercs and just move them back to my table side. There are way too many points to be shot to death by organ guns, even if they can't.
And you can't deal with the deep watch.
Right, and they're somewhat depleted as a combat unit now. So even if they can't kill anything, just to conserve those points is a smart move, I thought. So I just moved them back, and the deep watch can just stay over there if they want to. I moved the bruiser stick up a little bit. I don't care if the Rangers charge them in the flank. I just move them out of line of sight of the deep watch. And then the center, I don't move much. The Rock starts coming up because I need him to start doing something. I shift the Bombardiers over to start shooting at the Rangers, or at Junior. And then you see the bruiser sticks where I face them. I move the one bruiser stick in front of the spears, to kind of chaff them up a bit, so I can get the Rock and Tribesman into them. And then the other bruiser stick is just facing down those warriors with great weapons to protect my flank. And then in Magic, I think I miscast and do another couple wounds to this unit.
You got the Comet to come down.
Yes, and I got Wrath of Gods to come down. Mark used
Wrath of Gods.
What's that item called where you eat it? Eat the spell. Rune of Devouring.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I know your army better than you.
It's apparently so. You caught me by surprise. Like, what's that rune? I'm like, I don't know. It's the thing that says you can't use it ever again.
Right. So he uses that, so I'm only going to get it off once. I'm hoping it'll do some damage. And then I think in shooting... Oh, I'm sorry, that's where the Wrath of the God went. Mm-hmm. And then shooting, I either do 1 wound to Junior or I kill him this turn.
You did 1 wound.
Okay. I did 1 wound with Bombardiers to him.
You did 1 wound, but I did do a mistake is during my turn I don't move him.
That's right, yeah, so it's next turn. Yeah. Which leads us to Dwarves turn 3.
Or no, I lied. You did, or is this after magic? Hold on. No. So you did shoot me. You did shoot him to death. But that was my mistake, is I didn't move him last turn.
Yep, so Bombardiers killed Junior in shooting, and that was it. That was the turn.
Let's see. Over here...
Warriors charge the Bruisers.
And that was basically it.
And then other Warriors charge other Bruisers.
Yep. And I think my spears were just going, la-di-da-di-da.
And the Rangers charged the flank of the other Bruisers. Yeah, this was the turn of the Bruiser battles.
And that's it. So there's that charge. There's that charge. Go 10 Warriors, you're going to die. And they're like peasants. And those are the Rangers that I did get a buff on for a -1 to hit.
Yeah. I just figure all the dwarf spells are the same to me.
Yeah.
And they got something up.
And I did have a -1 to wound on this other organ gun.
Right.
Okay. So going back, you see now 2 wounds on that organ gun. That is because the Wrath of the God dropped out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And it killed, I think, 3 spears to put 2 wounds there. Put 1 wound on that organ gun. It killed 3 of those dwarves. And there's those 3 dwarves. And I think that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't overly spectacular.
No.
It just kind of chipped away at a couple of units.
Yeah, it really, really wasn't. And then close combat, my Warriors versus Bruisers. I actually thought you were going to win that combat.
That makes 2 of us.
And the Warriors turned around, won. He broke, and I ran him down. Mind you, there was no Swift Stride on that side of the board at that point, and they just ran him over.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The other combat, I put 1 wound on his other Bruisers, and they stuck.
Yeah, it was a pillow fight, it looked like.
Yep. And over there's that combat. So you actually needed a 6 to stay, if memory serves, but you rolled it.
Yeah, it was, this combat and the other one with the Warriors with Great Weapons, I needed a 6 rerollable. And the one I failed in this one, I happened to make.
On the reroll, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it stuck around.
So again, that lovely big name. Not saying I'm bitter.
Yeah.
But,
everybody's favorite big name.
And then here's just another bird's eye view. I don't think my organ guns did anything this turn, but I know I'm missing 1 big picture. Let me go back a few picks to the big board here. Okay, so just on the other side of the trees, on the right, you'll see my unit of handgunners. You see the organ gun and the engineer. I see his hammer just behind the high grass, and there you see some Yetis. So I reform my Deep Watch to block them from trying to charge into the into them. But meanwhile, I still had my engineer, and my engineer has a forged repeater because I haven't changed my list yet. And the forged repeater dropped one of the Yetis during the shooting phase,
which I was okay with because it made him so that he couldn't chaff me anymore.
But you were still going, what the?
Yeah.
You were not happy.
I was not super happy, but it was like 1 Yeti, I can kill that engineer, and then maybe he either has to shoot him with the organ gun and waste the shots, or I'm going to take out the organ gun the next turn type thing. So I was okay with it.
All right, so going back, Ogre's turn 3. Yep, there goes your running Yeti.
I charged in, and of course he is quick to fire, and it's 4 shots, right?
4 shots.
And he needed like 5s to hit me, and he hit with all of them, and then
4s to hit you because you're less than 9 inches away. I didn't get to ignore the stand and shoot reaction.
Right.
All I had was multi-shot.
Okay, so you needed 4s. So he hits with all of them and wounds at least with 3 of them and kills them.
Yep.
On the stand and shoot. It was really sad. This pissed me off.
So again, statistically should not have happened, but it did. Let's see. What else happened this
So
time?
then, yeah, I started doing some charges. So it looks like your warriors had to. Warriors fled
and then you redirected into the other unit warriors.
With the rock.
Yep.
Which is not. It's not ideal for me because I know this rock's going to overrun into a bad position.
Yeah, I'm surprised he did that.
But at least frees up the bruisers, and then, if Mark doesn't charge the bruisers, I can use them as a scoring unit later. It was either that or because you actually, I see the wound marker on it now. You did 4 wounds to the rock with an organ gun the following turn, so it was gonna die anyway. So it was just like I might as well at least kill some stuff with it. And
sorry,
that's fine. I'm just looking at the rest of the board to see if there's anything else. The Merc Vets I think are just chilling. They're kind of just back there if I need them. I think the bruisers are still stuck there. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else really happened much in movement. Yeah, so that's that picture there. And then I'm not sure what this is showing exactly. I might have just moved them up a little bit.
Either that or you did a reform or a failed charge. You may have tried to charge the spears, but...
Yeah, that could be.
I think you did try to charge the spears and you failed.
Either way, that's where they are. And then nothing really happens in shooting. I think I might killed like 1 spearman, bombardiers, and then in combat I kill a couple rangers, but they don't go anywhere. So that's a nuisance.
Yeah, I screwed that whole side up. I should have done after that reform. I should have because they had the hold stone. I should have had them facing the center of the board rather than facing the Yetis.
The deep watch.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because then the organ gun and the engineer could take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Here, yeah, the warriors are just picked up. The impact hits just wrecked them.
Yep.
And then overruns into obscurity. So that's what it looks like. You can see from Lord Shrek's point of view what the board looks like. And then we'll get into Dwarves turn 4.
All right, so Dwarves turn 4. I turn around, I charge, I lose 2 to terrain. I charge the flank of those bruisers. And I charge the front of his block with his general versus mine. So my thought process was this, is that we would have the same number of ranks, okay, or I would have 1 better rank, okay, come the end of combat, and I would do more combat res, breaking you on combat res. Okay, that was my train of thought here.
No, I mean, I think the odds were slightly in your favor also because you had magic.
I don't think I had any...
I don't think you ended up doing anything, but initially, that could have helped you.
Yeah, I mean, so anyway, during my shooting phase, he has to pick up his rock because an organ gun says hello, and that was it. It was one great big pillow fight. I did not take a picture of the combats.
I think you won by like 1 or 2, and I just held.
Yeah, you held
because you didn't get a buff off. I don't think.
No, I didn't. And it was just one of those things like fudge.
Oh, that's why. I think when we talk about this later, I think the one error is that the runesmith was still in the deep watch, so he's too far away.
Yeah.
So that's why there were no buffs off on that unit. So, yeah, parry helped a lot. Toughness 4 helps a lot, and I didn't roll fantastic, but I killed enough dwarves that Mark wasn't winning by a ton on static res.
Yeah.
So that will be a grind. And now into Ogre's turn.
4.
Turn 4. Yeah. And those bruisers are still in a fight with those handgunners that came in. They were able to hold. I did some more wounds. And now I'm sending my bombardiers into the flank to rescue them. So I'm thinking. And the Merc Vets are still trying to get away from that organ gun. I lost another one last turn from something.
I have no idea.
I think
you destroyed one of my organ guns. I think that was the organ gun you destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah, with a spell. It was like
yes,
Face Judgment or something like that. I rolled a 1 and you rolled a 6.
You're absolutely right. I rolled with Thaumaturgy, that one where you're just dicing off, and I just got lucky and he destroyed it with his mind or whatever.
Pretty much. Oh well. C'est la vie.
Those 2, so we'll just say with those combats, the tribesman unit, the spears are still just punching each other in the mouth. Nothing's really going on there. The other combat, I was really surprised that those bombardiers didn't break that combat open
No.
getting that flank
Yeah.
charged.
I was surprised, but
And we all just stuck there. So it's a
well,
big...
I think I had buffs on them.
It was you had one buff on the one unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing on the Rangers, I don't think. But yeah.
No, and the Rangers, you failed to wound. With great strength 6 weapons, you failed to wound.
Yeah.
You failed to hit and failed to wound.
It's a mess, folks. It's just a mess.
It was a good game. We had a lot of fun. That's all I can say. It was a good bloody game. We had a lot of fun. So this is now Dwarves. This is actually the last picture I have. Correction. This is the last picture I have. But what eventually ends up happening is I end up killing his general in a challenge with my king. But he kills the rest of the dwarves, so I lose combat res, and I fail my leadership. The king runs away. He ends up winning the combat there in the middle, and he's able to then maneuver so that I think had I charged, you were going to flee, and he would still give him his unit there of the tribesman and the bruiser able to claim objective, where I would only have maybe one unit able to claim the objective, being the Deep Watch. That's also provided, they are actually able to get in range of the objective. So, end of the day, we did not do points or anything like that.
No, we did. I thought we.
No, we didn't. We just.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
It.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm thinking of a different game.
Yeah, we just called. We just looked at it. It's like, well, my king's running away. I have the Deep Watch. I have one organ gun. I have my engineer, and my BSB and my runic smith. But we're just going to say ogres win. Okay.
Just because getting the objective is the big difference at the end of this game.
And that's it. So it may or may not have been a tie, but regardless, he has the objective, and therefore, no matter what the results were of points, he won. All right, and we were both in agreement. So ogres win. For the MVPs, we have to say ogres tribesman. For Dwarven holds, the engineer.
Yeah, that guy is a total jerk to
me. I think he's been like that more than one game too.
Yeah. But this game was extra special when he just like.
How many points were the 2 Yetis together?
2 Yetis?
Yeah.
Like, I want to say like 140.
He earned back his points.
Yeah. I think the unit's like 220 or something.
He's maybe 136 points. He's cheap as can be. He's got a shield and a forge repeater. That's it. No items whatsoever. And that's it. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please go ahead and post. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Until next time, happy gaming.